All right, guys, back again. A little bit of your base setup information for the F1 and actually the R1. So it's a kingpin style front end. So with a kingpin style front end, everything is adjusted by way of shims under or above the knuckles. Here. Can't really see on this picture too well, but they're there. You control your ride height with the shims above the knuckle, and you control droop, which we don't mess with at all, on the bottom. You do not need to have any droop on the lower. Your shim stack should be 1.7 total, no matter how you spin it. So if you want to have, 1 millimeter on top, and then you're going to have your 0.7 on the bottom, that's fine. If you want to move them around, as long as you have the same total number of 1.7, you're going to be good. Trust me on that one. There's no reason to put droop in the front of the car. It's just going to make it be really sloppy, and you have a lot of slop on the front of it, and it's just not going to handle it very well. I've done this. I have my own track here. I put in probably 500 laps a day at least. So trust me when I tell you that. There's no stone that's going to be unturned that I haven't already tried or been through. Okay, so anyway, one of the things, so we're talking about the kingpin. So if you have a situation where you're measuring the corner of and I usually measure my ride height for the front on the corner of the chassis with these cars. If for some reason they're not coming out the same or within 0.1, usually it's going to be because of either your shim stack is wrong, or the lower arms aren't seated to the chassis. It's usually something minor, or the chassis just bent or tweak. And these chassis don't bend or tweak, so you should be okay with that. As far as the back goes, one of the common questions you have is tweak and preload. So here's the quick rundown on that. These springs on these cars are very, very light. And just like everything else with the car, everything is really, really precise, believe it or not. So these springs are only designed to be whatever rate they are for probably about 1 to 1.3 millimeters. If you compress the spring more than that statically, it's going to coil bind when you actually go into using the springs. So you really want to have as close as you can get to zero preload on the side springs at all time. If for some reason you want more side spring, just put a stiffer side spring on it. But you really want to keep it at zero. Another thing is, if you have preload on both sides, they have to be exactly the same, or the car is going to do all kinds of weird stuff. Zero preload, you have a little bit more leeway, a little bit more of a window for tuning. How I personally set my side springs is, so with a car on a flat surface, what I'll do is I'll take the front right corner and I'll look at the back left spring. And what I'll do is I'll lift up like that, and I'll look at that spring. It's got a minimal amount of preload on it. So then I'll go to the other side and check the exact same way. And this particular car needs a little bit more on this side. So then I'll move the collar a couple turns until I figure out a way to get it where it's supposed to be, like that. Once you're set like that, you should be good on the track and shouldn't have any issues other than that. What else is there? Okay, so we're going to talk about your ride height and your chassis. What you want to do, you want to have your chassis even with the pod like so. You don't want to have your car set like this. You don't want to have it set like that. You do not use this center spring to control your ride height. Your ride height is controlled by the axle shims in the back and your shims on top of the knuckles in the front. Thank you.